So, what's going on, everybody? Today, man, we're gonna be looking at the arsenal. Everybody always asks me, what am I throwing? And I just need to answer that question. As always, man, if any of the balls you see in this video, you want to purchase it, that really does support the channel, using the links below. Use the links below, man. And we're gonna talk about all six. It's a typical league arsenal, especially for a center like Saltgrass Lanes. Yeah, so we're gonna get to it. Cool Wick jersey, as always, man. Use the link, Hush 10. I think that's about it. We got some more reviews coming. Even another Storm versus Brands of Brunswick coming as well. So be on the lookout for that. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm just gonna surprise you guys. But first ball up is my biggest ball I'm gonna carry around. The Polaris Hybrid. Still, again, with some surface on it. So I'm gonna give you a couple shots here with that one. Then we'll go to my number 2 ball. She hooks quite a bit. And this is my first shot. I just walked in the door and just started recording. So give me a couple shots to get warmed up. And this is a fresh house shot. And this ball hooks a ton. That's kind of why this is my first ball out the bag. So yeah, man. Again, if you're looking for that big ball that still has a lot of motion down lane, the Polaris is that's the ball. It's a huge reason why I like this ball. Just because it's so strong, I can play a little closer to friction, just kind of don't get around it as much so it doesn't see the spot and go left. But I also can jump in, and then also shape the lane. And this ball really makes it really easy. Crossed over. Again, she's a big ball. She is a big ball. Then my next ball in my bag, the Dv8 Hellcat. Again, this kind of just recently took the place of my Envision. Again, some more mild ASIM, but a strong ball. But again, just a little less overall than that Polaris Hybrid. The Polaris Hybrid is just a lot front to back, inside and left to right. So yeah, man. So we're gonna get a couple shots here with the Dv8 Hellcat. Almost carried a little bit. Again, just a hair smoother, but I feel like I still missed it a little right on all of this soup. Those first couple shots still looked a little shiny to me, so I just hit it with some more surface. Six. That's tough. It's tough. That's tough. That's tough. The Hellcat being a little weaker. There we go. Yeah, this Hellcat is a fun one to throw. I think most people are really going to enjoy this ball motion. Like, it's easy to line it up. Once you understand how's this coming off the spot, just line it up, man. How far left you need to get. Throw another one with the Hellcat. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Hopefully, I don't throw it out the window again. Seven freaking 10. You shouldn't be this left right now. It's a lot of volume. Keep saying that because, again, Saltgrass puts down quite a bit of oil, so. It hooks. That ball hooks. It definitely hooks. So far we got the Polaris and the Hellcat. Those are gonna be my 1 and 2 option, with the Polaris being more the angular one and the Hellcat being a little more controlled. And again, this is just in comparison to these two particular balls. Like, I know some people will be like, well, that's not a control ball. The Hellcat actually hooks too much. Man, again, just in comparison to these two balls, one's a little more angular than the other. Again, not by a lot, but for me, that's how I'm using it, especially for a house shot. A lot of house shot stuff, I want to see it hook down lane. Again, you see some over-under situations, but based with my next ball, you'll get more of the vibe of what my bag really looks like. The Stealth, the Track Stealth. I love this ball. A ton of hook. So the Track Stealth, man, a little smoother than the first two out of the bag. This is more of my benchmark symmetric solid. Again, I really enjoy this ball. I'm super biased to Track. I love pretty much everything that Track has come out with. Buttery smooth right now on all this oil. Nice and smooth control motion. Again, that ball is money. The Stealth is money. If you haven't picked one of the Stealths up, put it in your bag yet, you are really missing out, like, big time. The Stealth is, man, don't let that miss in your bag. People on tour, like, this ball is on back order. like for some of the tour guys, man, like, this is a go-to, man. Like, just again, don't sleep on this. She hooks. She does hook. I missed a little left. Boom. Nah. I give her a little bit more. Not a lot, but a little. Just a little bit. So I'm gonna jump a couple more boards left, and again, try to see what's the limit with this ball right now. So it is definitely handling the whole puddle very, very well. I'm not getting it really outside of my break point down lane. I'm just moving left, and it's still coming back. So I'm gonna leak one a little right, and then we're gonna move on to the next ball. So got me out of trouble, but again, I told you I was trying to leak a little right. I did. It's a lot of oil out there, so kind of what happens. So let's get to the next ball. After the Stealth, another strong symmetric, the Attitude, the Brunswick Attitude has been one of my favorite symmetric pearls. After my GB4 pearl and the web pearl, the web pearl is a tried and true. You still see the tour guys throwing it. You just saw Tommy Jones, Bill O'Neill, AJ Chapman in the league, the summer PBA league, throwing it. That ball's a go-to, man. Again, if you haven't tried any of the web series, I don't know what else to say. Like, you just need to try that. You need to put one of those in your bag too, dark web included. But this Attitude, Start a little right. A bit cleaner than the Stealth, any of the other three before it. He gets down the lane, but stores a little more energy, a little more change of direction. And I can't really shove that one up the lane to make sure it held line, but I'm gonna try to roll it and see what it does. Still held line with kind of my more traditional roll, and man, it's just cleaner. That front of that cover gets down the lane, and this is still only shots you've seen go down this lane is what I've put on it, and again, it's still going through the pins really well, and it's still, again, it's a nice amount of oil on the lane right now. I probably have to say like I'm a game and a half deep, and the ball still looks this good. So I'm gonna keep cheating a little left. That was a little out the window. Still saw it. Saw the friction. So this is probably Polaris. It's probably a little faster, but because it's a bigger core, it's still rolling really heavy. But again, this attitude is. It just looks good. Like the Stealth and the attitude, like these logos are just really, really clean, and I love the way they look. So I'm gonna keep cheating a little left. I got around that one. Dove. I got around that a lot, and it did what I thought it would do. Hook. A little better. Oh, that ball just sees the lane very, very well. Like, period. Like, it just, house shot especially, this ball is pretty versatile. That one really not enough around it, really just kind of more forward, so that's what happens. All right, so one more shot with the Brunswick attitude and we'll move on. When you get around that ball, it goes. It hooks plenty. So if you're looking for a symmetric pearl, this has to be in that conversation. I know the GB4 Pearl is crushing it. I know a lot of people really like that ball, but this attitude is pretty good. So, fifth ball on the list, Messenger solid. This ball, never leave home without it. I don't care what you're bowling on. I don't care if it's a sport pattern, it's a house shot. You already seen me throw this on a house. That's what I did the review on. You know, a pattern. I think it was a bear pattern. I think it was like 41 feet. But we're gonna get a couple shots here with the Messenger on a house shot. So again, Messenger power cord. This is the fifth ball in the bag. Cleaner ball that gets down the lane, and it's a more controlled piece for those lighter oils. Like it's the cleanest ball you've seen to this point outside of the attitude, but the attitude is going to have a lot more and a faster response time, where the Messenger is going to be a little more controlled, a little more smoother overall shape. That was a little inside of where I wanted to be, but it still made the corner. Like, this is one of those, I'm not going to say Intel-esque pieces, but, you know, that's putting a lot of, you know, strain on this ball's performance. But I don't want you guys to, you know, be like, well, I'm expecting Intel performance. It's similar. It's in that family of ball reaction. Man, so it's a keeper, man. Like, people who did love those type of lower end symmetrics, man, you have to try this out. Like, the Messenger is just good. and mind you, that's gonna be the theme kind of all of these bowling balls. They're all pretty versatile. They all can play on a lot of different environments. And they all kind of fit in a bag somewhere, you know, in anybody's bag. I had to back my speed down a little bit, more a little left. Asking a little much of that one. Got it out there. I could have hit it a little more, so we'll see. We'll try that again. I got it dead around that one. That was a horrible shot. Not the ball's fault, that's me. Again, if I play like in my little comfort zone, I can throw the ball all day. I have all the faith in the world that it'll do exactly what I need it to do. So. Has a chance. 10 back. 10 back. I think that's all you need to see it out. So lastly, the Hammer Ocean Vibe. This is, you know, the weakest ball I'm going to throw, you know, at any given wear. Like, I still want to, like, I'm not going to throw any rhinos or twists like that unless it's, you know, 32 feet or something really dramatic. But yeah, so Hammer Ocean Vibe, we're going to start a little bit straighter like always and then work our way left. She hooked. This ball is more down lane than the Messenger, for sure. Out the window. Out the window. Bad shot. So the camera hit my record limit. So yeah, I threw a couple shots, but yeah, still throwing the vibe. Again, the ball it's cleaner, so it still needs, you know, the proper amount of friction and oil. Because again, the ball's not weak; it's just responsive as hell to friction. It's not a weak ball, it's not a rhino. I think it's still even a little stronger than the Raw series as well. So again, people that, you know, you bowl competitively, you know, tournaments, things like that, this is again kind of the weakest ball I would go, because it's just a very reliable cover and core combination. Move a little further left. Go. Again, it definitely competes in that realm of like just strength. I still have the attitude a little stronger, but you get away with the vibe, man. A lot of people just love this ball and this core, man. And there's a reason they're bringing it back. So. 710, bad luck, but yeah, man, we'll go ahead and switch the angles now, and I'll talk a little bit more about the total arsenal and kind of why I picked these balls. So this is my bag, Polaris Hybrid up top, changing the surface, really again responds well to it. I might release a video. Tell me you guys in the comments if you want to see that, me adding some polish to it, but man, I really love it. Like with this 3000 and 2000, man, it really just does all the right things, especially on this heavier volume house shot. But yeah, top of the bag. And then we move over to this Dv8 Hellcat. Dv8 releases some wow pieces, but I think this is probably the most refined ball they've come out with, because I think the Hellraiser return was just a little too much. Super down lane, very clean, very strong, but again, it wasn't as usable, especially if you had some rev rate. So for me, balls like this one, man, really just hit a note for me, that again, it still has some wow to it, still has some, you know, response to friction, but man, just again, it's a little bit different, man. And then we get to this stealth, man. The stealth is tried and true, man. It's very straight to the point, and I think that's really what Track brand is, man. They get the job done. You know, they're not flashy. They just work. Like, just trying to keep it simple, man. Like, these balls just work, man. So if you haven't checked out the Track stealth, they need to do it. And we're actually gonna be doing a giveaway. I'm going to give away as soon as we cross 2,000 subscribers. So be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna formally put that in the front of another video. But yeah, so we look out for that. And then we jump to this Attitude from Brunswick. Oh man, I love a good symmetric pearl, and this really hits that note for me. You really don't gotta say too much else about that one. Messenger, solid. People, you know, I released the last video and it was on sport shot, so I wanted to give you guys a couple more shots here on a typical house shot. And again, this ball is Intel-esque. You know, it's very, very Intel-esque, and like I mentioned earlier, but this ball is good, man. And I don't want to put, again, too much on his shoulders, but I think it might stand the test of time if people actually give it a try. Don't let this ball come and go and you didn't try it. Like, just being honest with you. This is a ball, man. Give it a shot. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. And then we get to this hammer vibe. Man, there's nothing else to really be said about this. It's a vibe. Like, you gotta have this type of ball motion in your bag when the lanes get super fried and you need a reliable ball motion that you know is gonna come back. This was it. Like, look how this ball's hooking. Again, this is with some friction now, unlike before where, you know, it's still relatively fresh. But now with some friction, this ball hooks. It makes everything look good, man. But thank you guys as always, man, and until next time.